Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm the Gray Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective reading for today, Tuesday, April 11th, 2023. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please get the first 5 cards for our 5-card spread? First card we are coming out with right out the gate, Sun in its reversal. What is going on today, guys? So what are we seeing right now? There is a lot of hairy energy potentially around your own emotional landscape right now. This could be feelings of anxieties, fears, doubts creeping to the surface, maybe even some cynicism as it relates to the positive outlook of some circumstances or experiences right now. Let's see if we can get some clarity on why we're feeling like this today. Can I please get the next card for our 5-card spread? We've got some support coming in though here, because with this Sun card coming through, even though we are seeing some anxiety or fears or sadness coming through, we are also seeing that there is new communication coming in. There's something about this communication that is on the positive side that may be helping to try to lift your spirits as it relates to some circumstances or situations. So we do see communication happening today, even though you might be feeling in a little bit more of a place of cynicism as you receive it. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now. Why are we seeing some cynicism? Well, something about this communication that's coming in right now may have to do with some situations or circumstances from the past. And so what we're really seeing here is this is a moment where you are potentially feeling maybe not at your most optimistic as it relates to some communication due to an overriding desire or ability not to want to go back to situations or some circumstances that have caused you any frustration or pain or anxiety or problems in the past. As we always say, we don't want to go back to the sword store, because we're only going to get more swords. So you're kind of wading through a lot of this right now as you're experiencing this, really kind of weighing some of this communication that's coming in with this question about going back and this refusal not to wanting to go back to things that have caused you any kind of pain or discomfort from the past. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now. The next card we are seeing is High Priestess in its reversal. It's going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. What we are seeing right now is, especially for feminine, this could be feeling some anxiety about being able to follow your higher intuition or your higher insight. Again, as I mentioned, sometimes this happens when there are a lot of emotions at play. And what we're really seeing here is we're seeing some of those emotions at play right now with this Sun and its reversal. You're emotionally in a place that feels like a bit low. And as a result, it's making it a little harder to kind of follow your higher instinct and your higher logic and things as you go through some of these emotional situations that you're experiencing. This could also be feeling some kind of anxiety or blockage as it relates to the communication that's coming through right now through these outside areas about whether you kind of want to accept this communication coming in or if this is going to bring you back to situations or circumstances that have caused you pain in the past. Next card, the final card for the first 5 before we get clarification on these cards right now. We have a King of Cups. We have a King of Cups. So again, this is going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine right now, we're seeing some anxiety as it relates to going back to some situations or circumstances that may have hurt you in the past, potentially around some communication that's coming through and feeling a bit misaligned because of your own emotional landscape right now. For masculine right now, this could be feeling some points of anxiety or uncertainty, reaching out or receiving some information, not wanting to go back to circumstances or situations that have hurt you, but with a lot of concentration towards a manifestation of feminine who you feel you are not in alignment with, that there's something here about feeling some kind of emotional intuitive block around this energy right now, or feeling some doubts or concerns about where this energy is, but you're also having this question as to whether you want to communicate with it or if this is bringing you back to an experience or circumstance that is going to cause you pain. Now, for feminine energy right now, this is a moment that some of your decisions are being helped and aided and abetted right now, because even as some of this communication comes through, we see here a supportive energy right now of masculine around the feminine coming through with this King of Cups. This is a masculine that is in alignment with their own emotional center, that is able to kind of hold their emotionality And so feminine energy right now may be leaning on this energy right now, even as they're having this moment of doubt or uncertainty. While for masculine energy right now, there is a moment that you are potentially considering about whether feeling some moments of sadness. We saw this cracking open happening with the masculine energy over the last few days. Feeling some of this sadness and really asking yourself what you're going to do about it, whether you're going to kind of be in the space where you want to reach out and communicate, or potentially go back to some situations or circumstance, or feeling, but wanting to find. What's really interesting here is for fat masculine right now, this could be really representative of some energy of trying to go into a place to find a way forward, not to go back to situations or circumstances that have caused pain, because there is some attention towards a feminine energy that you are putting a lot of thoughts around right now, but you don't feel you're in this kind of higher spiritual alignment with. And it's this moment that's kind of creating this opportunity for masculine to come into their own emotionality to determine what to do as it relates to the steps moving forward. Continuing to get clarification on these points right now. Clarification between our sun in its reversal in combination with the Page of Wands. So, some feelings right now for feminine and masculine. Some feelings of sadness, some feelings of uncertainty, some doubts and some fears cropping up. And really kind of either having communication coming in right now in the wake of this, or really kind of pushing out in a positive communicative way, even like as a point of resistance from what you're feeling right now. May I please get one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now. She loves coming out, guys. She's been coming out the last few days with our Queen of Pentacles. Feminine is using this moment to put a lot of their time and energy into creating a supportive, stable environment for themselves, even in the midst of some of these feelings of sadness and uncertainty. So we're almost seeing here that even in the midst of any communication coming towards them, most of the feminine's energy today is going to be built around building this protective energy around them right now and building this stable, supportive environment. Typically, also very frequently with this Page of Wands, this can come through as very youthful energy to me. So especially if the feminine has younger energy that they're also looking to work with, they're doing the things that they feel are creating the most amount of stability for the energies around them from this point, even in the face of some of their own anxieties and fears. While for masculine energy right now, we see here that there is a moment of uncertainty and doubt, but you are reaching out for communication. You are trying to extend some communication, particularly around a manifestation of feminine right now that you feel is in a stable, supportive role. And that is the energy that you are potentially reaching out to right now to try to build a more positive outcome around something here that you may not necessarily feel is positive. We saw a bit of that block yesterday around this energy. Continuing to get clarification between these cards right now. Clarification between our Page of Wands and our Seven of Swords in its reversal. So, having this moment of really reaching out in some ways, communicating in some ways, but also with a lot of focus in either coming up with new approaches in communication, not to go back to things that have caused pain or difficulty in the past, or trying to like remediate some of that, either by not going back to those places or finding new avenues to communicate to try to fix any of these problems from the past without going back to them. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming right now. Oh, this was healing the other day. This was healing yesterday. Your healing is not linear, so this would explain why we're seeing some of this sun in its reversal. There's still some sadness as it relates to some of this heartbreak that you're still dealing with. This could be some of those situations from the past that caused you pain. We are seeing here that there is this productive path forward as it relates to new energy, new communication, new directions for communication. But a lot of this is being weighed down because even while there's a resistance not to go back to the things that have hurt, there's still a lot of this kind of being experienced in the immediate moment as you're trying to drive forward in these new directions. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now. Clarification between our Seven of Swords in its reversal in combination with a High Priestess in its reversal. So for feminine right now, this could be feeling where we're seeing a lot of this heartache, feeling that you don't want to go back to circumstances or situations or scenarios or people that have caused you pain, but also feeling a little bit blocked because maybe a lot of your attention is towards these points, or feeling some uncertainty as to how to free yourself from these situations or circumstances. While for masculine right now, what we're really seeing is a desire to not go back to situations or circumstances in the way that they did around places that have hurt, potentially around a feminine energy, but feeling a lot of concentration towards a feminine energy that you feel is not in a space where you can connect with them on some kind of higher intuitive level, feeling like this energy is blocking you or trying to push you out in a certain extent, but also like having this desire to potentially find a productive path forward. May I please have one card to clarify? This could also be, I will point out, could be two different manifestations of masculine right now. This could be two different energies for masculine right now. Or it could be one that's embodying both these qualities. Clarification coming right now. This is the place, again, for masculine right now, this is a moment of pushing forward. This is a moment of getting their own confidence back, even as it relates to some situation or circumstance, of not going back to past situations that have caused harm, but with some attention or focus towards a feminine energy that they don't feel like they're in communication with, or there's some kind of blockage with. This is what's giving the encouragement to masculine right now. While for feminine right now, this is a moment where you are allowing yourself to embody new approaches, to kind of allow your own courage to take the wheel, even in the midst of not feeling like you have all of the optics or insight that you need. You're really kind of allowing your confidence to drive you forward, just entirely out of a need not to go back to the things that have caused you any kind of problems or pain. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, clarification between our High Priestess in its reversal in combination with our King of Cups energy. So very different energy for feminine or masculine right now, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine right now, today is going to feel a bit rough. You're not going to feel like you're in that like higher logic, intuitive connection as much, potentially because you're feeling some of this like degree of sadness or frustration that you're going into right now, with a lot of concentration on like practical concerns and practical matters, but also with feeling some supportive energy around you right now of a masculine that's coming through in an emotionally balanced way to help you during this moment. While for masculine right now, we are seeing that you are in a place where you are really coming into alignment with your emotional center, potentially as it relates to or because of, inspired because of a feminine energy that you feel has this higher insight, that has this kind of higher attunement, but you're not necessarily feeling in connection with at this moment. It's requiring you to get into your own feminine energy, into your own heart space. 3 cards? 3 cards to clarify. It's okay. It's okay. They're good cards. So it's going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy. So for feminine energy right now, you're feeling very vulnerable today. This is a very vulnerable day for feminine. Feminine feels like their guards down to a certain extent, but there's a lot of attention right now to care of the self and moving towards those places they feel like they're going to have a sense of victory, with the support of a masculine energy that they feel is kind of in their like emotional level balancing space to give them support as they go forward in this direction, even if they're not necessarily feeling completely in like higher spiritual alignment right now. While for masculine energy, we are seeing here that there is something about you coming into your own heart center right now, reaching this point of emotional balance. And I will say it again, we've been seeing this with the masculine energy. This might be more than one manifestation of feminine, or a single manifestation of feminine that embodies these qualities. For masculine, there could be a tension right now to being inspired to reach this point of balance within them towards the feminine energy, but also with a lot of attention right now towards a manifestation of feminine that they feel has their guard down, that is being vulnerable or open to them, that is allowing them also to reach this point of balance. And it is this also moment right now putting this care and attention into the self as they try to move towards some victory, potentially around a feminine energy. Continuing to get clarity on these cards right now. Clarification between our Queen of Pentacles in combination with the 3 of Swords. For feminine right now, this is going to feel like a little bit of a rough day, because we do see here that while you are putting a lot of attention and care right now into your own sense of stability, you're also dealing with a lot of potential heartbreak that's coming through as you go through this point right now. While for masculine energy right now, we are seeing that you are experiencing some kind of heartbreak, potentially as it relates to a feminine who you feel or you identify is in this place where they are this stable, supportive, material-like inclined energy. May I please get one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with our 5 of Cups, this is where some of that sadness is coming in. So for masculine right now, there could be feelings right now of some kind of huge setback or loss as it relates to your connection to this stabilized energy of the Queen of Pentacles, and being in a space right now where your own emotionality is such that you can't necessarily see the positives or see a path forward. You're just kind of caught in this place of mourning or grief or loss. While for feminine, this is a moment that, again, a lot of concentration into creating your own point of stability, even as you deal with some of this heartbreak, and also having this heartbreak rise up, because this is a day that it's very hard for you to look at the bright side on it. You're just really embodying that feeling of loss or lack of connection as it relates to this heartbreak, but putting that concentration into creating that stable center for yourself in the wake of it. Continuing to get clarification on these cards between our Three of Swords in combination with our Page of Swords. A moment right now that, and I like this for both masculine and feminine energy, even while you're going through some kind of deep heartbreak or working through this pain right now, we see that you're allowing your confidence to really guide you forward, not letting yourself, being able to find a way to work through the grief, if you will, to push through that grief into the places that you want to push through, even just not because of the grief, but despite it to a certain extent. May I please have one card to clarify? We've got clarification coming right now with our Seven of Pentacles in its reversal. So again, a feeling of saying to yourself, even though you are kind of feeling this grief, you need to push forward because you just don't have the time to wait. There's a feeling of not necessarily wanting to wait, not wanting to kind of rest on your laurels right now, maybe feeling like there is something that is very time sensitive. So really trying to drive your tangible plans forward, pulling your energy back from things that are not showing you the results of the commitment that you've been giving to them, and using this like as a point of heartbreak, but also advancing forward. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Page of Swords in combination with the Queen of Swords in its reversal, an Ace of Cups, and a Six of Wands. It's going to feel a bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now. For masculine energy, this is driving forward right now, specifically towards potentially a manifestation of feminine that you feel is open and vulnerable to this point, with a concentration of care of the self and feeling that there is some victory on the horizon with this energy. While for feminine right now, this is a moment that you are feeling some of that vulnerability coming through, putting a lot of this attention back into care of the self, seeing potentially a lot of success on the horizon for yourself right now. And even at this point of vulnerability, allowing this to give you the confidence you need to push forward, even in the face of feeling some of that vulnerability and uncertainty. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with our beautiful Chariot energy. We love to see it. For masculine and feminine energy, this is a moment of really accepting and thinking about the energies that you want to unify with as you go forward from this point. Building this point of unification, looking at the energies around you, really asking yourself, what energy am I able to take with me on the way that's going to lead me to my best desired outcome? What is aligned in terms of where it wants to go, what it wants to do, what its ultimate goals are. Seeing and recognizing this to a certain extent is what is allowing this path forward. For some masculines right now, this is a very tangible expression of that, with a feminine energy that you feel is open and vulnerable to going in the direction that you ideally want to go into. While for feminine right now, this is a moment where you could be feeling like you yourself are vulnerable right now, but you're seeing the type of energy that is willing to go with you in a sense. And that is what's also giving you this point of encouragement. Continue, though this energy might be very new for the feminine, I will point out, because this is very early Page of Swords energy. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, clarification between our Five of Cups in combination with our Seven of Pentacles in its reversal. So a bit of sadness coming to the surface right now, mourning what has been lost, having a bit of difficulty looking at the bright side or the positive of some situation or circumstance, but also not letting yourself rest on your laurels right now, really using this as an opportunity to push forward. Wait, not necessarily being inclined to wait on anything right now, taking what you see is apparent in front of you and letting that drive you forward, and also like not letting your, like pulling your own energy back on places or situations or things that don't seem like they're yielding the results that you ideally would desire at the time, in the time frame that you would require. clarification coming right now with our death card in its reversal. Can you say the end of a transformation process? Again, this death card energy can feel very difficult. It can feel like a bit of an ego death. It can feel like a lot of transformation, but we see here that there's some kind of cycle of transformation that's coming to a closure point, and this is what is allowing you to be able to take these steps even while kind of mourning some of the losses of that transformation process. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, clarification between our Seven of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with the Chariot. So again, a moment right now of not waiting, of looking and feeling like the time has come, not pulling your energy back from anything that you feel is taking too much time or isn't on your same timeline, because you are seeing clear pathways forward right now, energy that you can unify with immediately that will drive you forward in the direction of the plans that you are trying to put forward from this point. May I please get one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with, did I stutter? No more waiting, no more waiting, no more waiting. Double down on the no more waiting. We've got this like extremely like time is of the essence energy of both the Seven of Pentacles in its reversal with the Temperance and the Chariot, feeling energetically and divinely called to take action now, to take these steps for yourself, not to hold back, not to wait, to really push forward how you want to push forward, because there's a feeling that now is the time. Continuing to get clarification. This is why the energy is so heavy today. Jizu, the clarification between our Death card in its reversal in combination with the Temperance card in its reversal. The completion of a transformation cycle and feeling the need to push out of that transformation cycle sooner rather than later, allowing this point of transformation to reach its completion point and to see what's on the other side of it. May I please get one card to clarify? I love it. Clarification coming right now with the Six of Cups. So all of this leading to a new transformation cycle. And what is that transformation cycle leading you to? Energetic unions that are karmically healed. Putting your time and attention and space right now into those connections, those karmic connections that you feel, be them family, be them friends, be them even new romantic energies or positive romantic energies that are putting you in a place of support, of care, of reciprocity. And it's moving in this direction to these more aligned, healed karmic connections, that you're allowing these cycles to come to a close, and you're moving with a lot of rapidity. You're seeing those karmic connections for what they are, and you are choosing them, which is allowing the cycles to reach a point of completion. I love it. Bottom of the deck on this read right now. Star in its reversal. So even as we're going through this right now, there is some rough energy as it relates to some of the energy that's happening between the masculine and feminine, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. Some anxieties of being able to be your most true, authentic self. Maybe even pushing through some situations or scenarios that made you feel like you were not safe or comfortable to be in that zone or be in that area. For feminine right now, this could be feeling deeply why we see some of this frustration, some anxiety or fears around being able to feel comfortable being your most authentic expression of self, being in a place where you are seen and recognized for who you are and what you are able to offer. While for masculine right now, this could be feeling some point of separation or some point of disconnection from a manifestation of feminine that you feel embodies these gifts, embodies these talents, but is in some way blocked or prevented from being able to be reached or accessed at this point. That is our daily collective read for the day. I want to thank you guys so much for having it with me. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. My private readings are done over video with the option of recording sent to you afterwards. Please keep in mind, if you book a private reading with me, it is a two-step process. You have to book the reading and you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you would like to have a reading with me. Also, please keep in mind, I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a reading. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one via my website. I want to thank you guys so much for having this reading with me, and we will do this again tomorrow.